On January 7th, 2025, a wildfire started in the Santa Monica Mountains, north of Pacific Palisades. The fire, by the time it was through, destroyed thousands of homes and amazingly jumped the Pacific Coast Highway and burned hundreds of homes along the ocean side on the highway. The Pacific Coast Highway was closed for basically cleaning up all of the burned houses for over 5 months. So here we are today, May 23rd, and the PCH is opened. It opened this morning, and we're going to take a ride out the PCH and look at what happened during the wildfire. We're going down the California incline and headed down to the PCH at the bottom of the hill. There's no music soundtrack here. It's just going to be me making comments every now and then. So just sit back and relax and watch the dash cam video that we took for the next 28 minutes. This is the Entrada intersection. It's closed for turning off the PCH, only open for traffic coming down the hill to the PCH. You notice the light is green. What you can't see is there's actually a policeman who's directing traffic on the other side of this SUV. The fire actually came down this far, and part of the area back off to the right was actually burned. But the majority of the fire is a little bit ahead of us on the PCH. Off to the right, you can see brown trees where they were burned when the fire came down the hill all the way to the PCH and the beach. Again, you can see the burned areas off to the right. We're approaching the area around Will Rogers Beach where the parking lots, usually for beachgoers, are being used to allow parking for workers and staging trucks and transferring loads of cleaned up waste that is being trucked out of here. So you can see all the trucks lined up here, ready to get loaded. Now we're approaching the Sunset Boulevard intersection. Sunset, as far as we know, is still closed to traffic for the general public, but residents can get up because Sunset goes right through Pacific Palisades and a lot of the area was burned. Uh, as we're driving along, by the way, you'll notice a lot of police cars off to the side, and there's a reason for that. The speed limit is set here at 25 miles an hour, and police are monitoring every mile or so. And according to the LA Times today, they stopped quite a few cars who were uh, going way faster than 25 miles an hour. We weren't unhappy with the 25 miles an hour because it gave us a chance to look around and see what was happening. On the left, you'll see a retaining wall. That's a retaining wall with the Getty Villa. It's made of steel beams vertically and large wood beams horizontally. Strangely enough, the fire seemed to have avoided the villa, although it lost a lot of trees around in their grounds. But many of those wooden beams that made part of that structural wall were actually burned out and missing. This is the intersection of the PCH with Topanga Canyon, a road that certainly had a bad year with not only the fires but with several closures due to mudslides. The small store on the far corner there, that you see now, is completely gone. It was wiped out in the fire. Just ahead, you'll see a large flat space. That's where the Real Inn restaurant was, a motel, a few other shops, including a wine tasting shop. The only thing left now is the motel sign. Here's where the fire jumped across the PCH and started burning all the houses along the shore, off and on. There are some areas where there aren't any houses anymore, and you can't see really well, but you'll see some of them where there's burned out hulks, and you'll see chain link fences where there used to be houses. Um, Over to the left, you can see pilings. There used to be buildings on top of those pilings, right up to the side of the road, with barely room for a car. Now there's nothing but chain link fences, and you can see the leftover pilings and occasional structures like this steel structure left from where there's a house. About 300 houses were burned along the PCH here. You can just keep an eye out on that side and you'll see just all the pilings that are all that's left of those houses. Look closely over on the left and you'll see the burned out hulks of a new Porsche 911 and a van. Strangely, there are rows of houses that were untouched. Quite unexplicable, but you can see them that just survived without a problem, and then it goes right back to complete destruction. Where you see the chain link fences and occasional walls, there used to be houses. On the left is Duke's Restaurant, which survived the fire, but then mudslides coming down the hill filled it with mud. The buildings on the right were untouched by the fire, but over on the left, the long rows of houses were completely destroyed. Along here, you'll also see some ruins of where the fire took out houses, like here on the right hand side. We're getting closer to Malibu now. We're coming into the center of Malibu now. You can see the sign on the left, which indicates the end of the 25-mile-an-hour zone that they've instituted for the PCH between Santa Monica and Malibu. And we're going to be all the way to the Malibu Pier shortly. That's the way it looks going on the northbound side. We did a return trip later in the afternoon with the dash cam going too, which took about twice as long because there was a lot more traffic. But in a few days, we'll edit that and add it to YouTube also. There's the pier. Don't forget to look for the round trip